Bonjour, everybody. And welcome to another stream. We are summoning good vibes for the day. That chat log is enormous. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Oh dang, I forgot to throw away this trash. Hang on, I'll be right back. Forgot to throw away trash. We cannot have a cluttered tarot space. We cannot. Alright, I'm back. Okay. What do the cards have in store for us today? Let's find out. Oh, I meant to get a Dr. Pepper. Dang. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom. Never mind, she can't hear me. I'm gonna go get a Dr. Pepper. I'll be right back. Alright. Dr. Pepper. I want to show you guys my new headphones. Take a look at these. They got little kitties. I don't know if you can see them. Right here. Meow! How are you today? Hello, what's up, Rocket Teats? Good, good. I'm doing pretty good. Had a nice, easy shift. Well, it wasn't easy, but it went fast at work today. And, now I'm just winding down for a little bit of tarot, you know? Just hanging out, vibe checking. The queue is open, by the way. Whoa. Oh my god, I can't shuffle today. Alright. Let me go ahead and start with Yo-Yo Boy 22. There we go. All right. Do you have any particular question for the cards? Possible message for tomorrow or the week. You got it. Well, just one at a time, cards. One, two, three, four, five. Alright, okay, we've got the Knight of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Six of Wands. Okay. So the Knight of Swords is about communication, being really, really taking the initiative with your communication. If you've got questions about things or if you have answers for things, then you are stepping forward and you're freely giving information or freely requesting information. There's nothing really getting in your way there. Then we have the Five of Wands. Fives are all about conflict and instability. And in this case, this is spiritual conflict, spiritual instability. So there might be a little bit of a spiritual upheaval, maybe political turmoil going on in your sphere there. And then the Six of Wands, which is all about harmony, cooperation, and healing of spiritual and political things. So it looks like we're communicating. There's a little bit of conflict on what's been communicated, and then there's some healing and cooperation after. It's not raining, it's my rain sound effects that I have on as background noise. um, but if they're annoying, I'll turn them off. But then we have this harmony, this cooperation and healing of this matter that is brought up by the communication. Let's pull some clarification cards to see if there's just to see if there's anything else the deck wants to tell us about this. So we have the Page of Wands modifying the Knight of Swords and the Five of Wands. So it's looking like there's this going out on a limb kind of like when you're communicating what needs to be communicated, you're kind of going out on a limb and you're kind of like what's another way of saying that? You're taking a risk. Yeah, it's probably the resolution. Also, I got new Wi-Fi, so it might be the Wi-Fi. So, what was I saying? So we have the Page of Wands modifying the Knight of Swords and the Five of Wands, which means you're taking a risk when you're communicating whatever this is. And then modifying the Five of Wands and the Six of Wands is the Five of Swords. There is a verbal conflict that you overcome together with somebody. And then we have the Seven of Swords modifying the Page of Wands and the Five of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is all about reflection, logical assessment, and control. And this is indicating a time for you to reflect on what you should say, what you shouldn't say, what's hurtful, what's harmful, and just really thinking introspectively about how your words affect people and the people around you. Do you think it's possible to ask what communication could generally be about? Yeah, absolutely. It's looking like it's something spiritual or political. Um, but yeah, I could ask. Let's see. We have the King of Cups in reverse. King of Cups is like very in control of his emotions. And he's out of control of his emotions. So it's about somebody who is not very not very in control of themselves, very emotional, very reactive, kind of thing. And then justice reversed, a lack of justice, a lack of introspection, a lack of inability to think beyond themselves. And the Nine of Wands, which in reverse, which is about a lack of closure, loose ends, and goals that need workshopping. So, if that reminds you of somebody in particular, or some situation in particular, then that's what that's going to be about. Does it resonate at all with you? Yeah, no problem. It does partially? Okay, cool.
I can't connect to the Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
Oh my god. I have to connect my Google thing. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Rocket Teats. There we go. Woo! What question do you have for the cards today, Rocket Teats? Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to hang out. General, you got it. Or relationship, okay. Let's see what the cards have in store to it for us. Okay. Nice. That sounds so good right now. Oh my god. Okay. It looks like we've got the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is all about reaping what you've sown emotionally. So this is like you've put in a lot of effort into a relationship or into growing to the point of being ready for a relationship, and now it's paying off. So that's good. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The Queen of Pentacles is all about being in control and being a leader and a mother figure when it comes to earthly belongings like finances, family, the body, things like that. This is in reverse, so you may be struggling with some finances, um, uh, some earthly belongings, some laying foundations down for like marriages or something like that. Um, you may be struggling in that area, or it may be blocked. Um, and it looks like the Ace of Swords in reverse is what comes after that. The Ace of Swords is a new opportunity when it comes to speaking. You're communicating in a fresh new way or with a new person. It's a fresh new start. But that is being blocked or is in reverse. So let's pull some clarification cards to see what's going on. Nine of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles is modified by the King of Pentacles. It's looking like definitely we've been working on our... Oh, okay. I'll wait. That sounds really good though, Yo-Yo Boy. I'm a sweet and sour girly myself. Alright. Got 10 more seconds here. Alright, welcome back. Okay. Just gonna wait until I have confirmation that he's back. Alright, welcome back. Okay, where did I leave off? By how much? Okay. The third card? Okay. So the Ace of Swords is all about a new opportunity to communicate. So let's see what we've got. We've got the King of Pentacles modifying the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. This is just confirming that there's some financial growth that's been happening, and you've been very like emotionally, like it's been tied with your emotions, your financial well-being, and you're making good progress and you're showing growth there. And then modifying the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords is the Chariot in reverse. Let me double check what my notes say about the Chariot. The Chariot is all about upcoming victory, diversified thinking, being flexible on your journey. Yeah, it's probably delayed by about 30 seconds. Um, uh, and, diversified thinking, being flexible, drive and determination. Drive and determination as well. And that's where we see that Queen of Pentacles come into play. And it's looking like maybe we've made a lot of progress, but we might be losing a little bit of steam, or feeling a little bit like we can't, like we're never gonna make it. But then we have the Ace of Wands. Oh, a new opportunity, spiritually or politically. And a new, whenever I see the Ace of Wands, I think of a new way that I'm thinking about a scenario, a new way that I'm approaching something, and a new attitude, I should say, of how I'm approaching something. So we're getting a fresh new attitude, a fresh new perspective, to help us along on this financial journey. And there may be some, while we've been working on the financial side, we've been growing emotionally. So that's going to make you more attractive to potential partners. I feel ya. Burnout is rough. What you thinking? Well, let's see. Is a partner on their way right now? That landed between D and E and R and S. I don't know what that means. Just kidding. No, no horror stories. It's been very chill. We have an understanding. So, me, with any ghosts in my house or wherever I stay, I just set my boundaries really firmly, where it's like, listen, I go to bed at a certain time, and if you're going to be playing around and moving stuff, like, that's not going to fly. I'm not scared of you, and if that's the goal, like, that's not gonna, it's not gonna phase me. So, I've never been spooked out by it. Um, but, it's been pretty funny. Sometimes I'll ask it a question, um, on behalf of, a client, and it'll just go, goodbye, and point to goodbye, um, which is really funny. I used to, so it's interesting, I have bipolar disorder, and part of bipolar disorder is you hallucinate. First question of the Ouija board. Are you haunted? Exactly. um, uh, I started medication for my bipolar disorder a couple years back, and ever since then my hallucinations have gone away, so I haven't seen any ghosts since. Um, so there may have been a connection there between seeing ghosts and having hallucinations. I'm not saying that ghosts aren't real. Because there's definitely been unexplained things, you know, that have happened, um, where things have been misplaced or whatever. Um, but I'm definitely like a Shaniac, if you're familiar with Watcher, and Ghost Files. We can ask the Ouija board more stuff if you want. I had to figure out a way to do it by myself because I have a planchette, but if I'm just like moving it to letters, like that's not, I'm just moving it. You know what I mean? Like that's not spooky and random. So I'm not familiar with any of those. I'm scared. Oh. Well, I typically ask it yes and no questions because it seems to want to respond to those more. But sometimes I'll ask it, like, give us the first letter of somebody's name, or um, how old is somebody, and the like it'll go to the number or the letter or something like that, or just go off the board, in which case it's undecided. So what are you scared of? You scared of the Ouija board? It has a bad rap, to be sure. Will AI take over programmers' jobs in the near future? I don't think so. But let's see. I. Five. Yeah, you just get random little things like that. Um. Five. Where's my dog? Oh, there he is. I think it would be interesting. I'm trying to think of what I5 would mean. I know it's like a highway. That is a freeway. I want to say it's in Florida. Or maybe I'm thinking of the I-4. Interstate. Yeah. So maybe along I-5. Where does the I-5 run? Let's see. I-5. Interstate 5. Oh, it runs through the west coast. could see that. It's maybe just on the West Coast, is what it's saying. Which would be a shame, because I know quite a few programmers on the West Coast who would be out of a job. Yeah, no problem. I always love doing readings. Come on, there's hella wax left. Dang. Time to start a new candle. What should we do a spell about? Good boy. They're gonna find jobs somewhere else. That's true. And they're engineers, so they'll be fine. Oh, that's where that went. I'm going to keep this up on those shelves, I think. You want to do a romance spell? I've got a pink candle. We could do it. But you gotta be for real about it. Oh, incoming ad break. Come on, guys. What should we do a spell about? You're just kidding. Okay. You don't want to mess with nature? Fair enough. I don't think spells do mess with nature. I think they put you more in touch with nature. But if you see it that way, then I won't stop you. World peace? Sure. So first, let's define what world peace looks like. Because we have to set a goal for this spell. Let's pop in the chat. What does world peace look like? Imagine there's no countries. Whoa. But I'm not the only one. And the world will be as one. People minding their own business would be peaceful. That's true. Sorry, my loves. Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. Thank you so much. Alright. Let's see. Do I have enough? That fits perfectly in there. Hell yeah. Okay, let me dig this out. People minding their own business. That's a good one. I think an end to war. Welcome back. Alright. That's all ready to go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bless! Alright. So let's see. Let's do some thinking here. Let me pull up my grimoire. Grimoire. What is the forecast of the day? Let me grab my iPad. I'll be right back. Oh wow! Thank you so much for the gifted sub. That's so sweet of you. Okay, what are the stars doing today? Chart for now. Give me the chart details. Parados. Houses. First. Chart for now. In conjunction. Saturn. North Node. The Descendant. I want to find a good astrological conjunction or opposition to work with here. Oh, the moon is opposite Mars. No, Venus, excuse me. Is that the moon? No, that is Black Moon. Yeah, I think let's use that. Okie dokie. So we're gonna place our little candles. Make our little gay menorah. No! Get back in there, yellow. He's real yellow. Alright. Push you off to the side. This is gonna be a lot of fire, so I'm gonna bring that away from my screen. There we go. And then let us take the grimoire. A spell for world peace. What are win conditions for this spell? We've got, well, hang on, let me pull it up so y'all can see it. I think win conditions, we have universal health care, so goals, we have peace in the Middle East. We have peace in, oh my god, in Ukraine, in the, is that the Balkans? I don't know geography. Peace in Ukraine. Peace of mind for everyone. Alright. So needs being met. Human rights. Being acknowledged. Alright, I think those are good goals for now. There's only so much we can do as a little coven. So, let's see, we've got 5 goals. I'm gonna focus on let's come up with one more goal so that we each have 2. Peace of mind for everyone. Redistribution of wealth. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna... Yeah, fuck cancer. Cure for cancer. What's another one? An end to homelessness. Alright. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each of us take... Okay, this isn't divisible by 3. We need one more. Into homelessness. Oh, taking care of the planet. Healing the planet. Because there's 3 of us, and each of us are going to take 3 of these and focus on them. Unless you guys are not comfortable. I can focus on all of them if you want. You're good? You're good like you don't want to? Or you're good like you're down to do the spell with me? Excuse me. Considering a spell is just a prayer with props, you're not gonna go to hell. I can tell you right now. Alright. Let's light her up. Alright. Okay, so universal health care. Let's focus on that for a moment. What does that look like? Single payer health care in America, I think. I think everybody deserves single payer health care. next peace in the Middle East. You know, we pray for Israel and Palestine to chill out. Obviously, Israel is in the wrong the way that they've been bombing Palestine relentlessly and just trying to, and like, people have in authority have referred to the people of Palestine as animals that need to be eradicated. I think if we were able to step in and stop the violence, that would be nice. And by we, I don't mean like the United States. The United States is crazy. But I think like maybe the United Nations or somebody could come together and talk some sense into these people. Although I am afraid that it's past talking. Same for peace in Ukraine. I fear that it's past talking. But I hope that it is resolved by Ukraine maintaining their status as a country and not being annexed by Russia. I think peace of mind for everyone looks like everybody having their needs met. I think it looks like everybody being able to feed their families, being able to take care of their businesses, being able to go places and know that they're safe. True freedom. I think that's what peace of mind looks like. Human rights being acknowledged looks like you know, people shouldn't have to pay for toilet paper. I don't think people should have to pay for period products or toilet paper because these are things that everybody needs, or at least 50% of people need. I think that should be paid for by the government. I think that everybody should be able to walk this street and not be afraid of violence. Redistribution of wealth looks like taxing the rich. Pretty self-explanatory. But let's think on it for a little bit. What does that look like? I think taxing the rich ends up with families who are struggling to make ends meet being able to not have to pay so much in taxes. Or it looks like taxing the rich looks like money getting invested into more businesses, more grants, more government subsidies, so that the little guy can survive and the little guy can work his way up. Because nobody can spend billions of dollars. It's ridiculous. The cure for cancer. We're so close to breakthroughs from what I've read. But we need more funding. And that's where that redistribution of wealth comes in. If we redistribute the wealth, then we can start funding cancer research. We can get more boots on the ground when it comes to cancer research. We're so close. Now it's cancer by cancer, but there are some types of cancer that they found treatments for that are very effective. But it needs funding. The end of homelessness looks like everybody having a home. It looks like maybe government housing being set up. And people getting the things that they need. Healing the planet. That looks like, cutting down on fossil fuel emissions. Using less big planes. Spending less money on rocket ships that do nothing. It's one thing to send a rocket ship into space and you're like doing science, but it's another thing to spend all of that money and spend all of that, atmosphere. And then it's just a little fun trip for celebrities. I wonder if I still have that card. No. It's interesting watching what the candles do with the intentions of the spell on them. Hmm. I'll see you there. Or wherever we end up. The wax is doing something really interesting on this candle over here. I wish I could show you guys. It is burning a little bit faster, yeah. Let me see if the notes are in here. Oh. It's just burning faster, but it's creating this little rivulet that's wrapping around the candle. It's really cool. The love candle is really starting to flow now. This one is the peace candle, and it's melting its ass off. Yeah, it's like a small bonfire. Oh, that's just my mom. She saw a funny TikTok. Yeah. It's interesting. Okay, so the the candles mean different things. I'm gonna try to remember what each of them means, but I could be wrong. This one is love. This one is career. This one is I'm gonna come back to that one. This one is peace. This one is career and lifestyle. Oh, it's also doing fun little rivulets. This one is money. This one represents the Virgin Mary. So like purity and faith. And then this is like a mix between purity and love. So it's interesting watching them burn down. The peace one, considering the spell, the peace one is really like working its ass off. And then the lifestyle one, the career and lifestyle one is really going. The green one, the money one, has started to go. They're all starting to really pool now. It makes sense that purity was the last one to start pooling, but it's good that it is. Hey, how you doing? We're just doing a little spell for world peace, real quick. Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. So we're just watching the candles burn down for right now and just watching what they're. Yeah. Whichever one goes faster is like the biggest hurdle um, in the quest for world peace. But they all have a lot of wax still, so it could be anybody's race. Yeah, tell us about your day. Nice. Very cool. Nice, nice. Yeah, that sounds like a really fun day. We've been good. Yeah, what kind of lab are you working in? Oh, sick. Are you allowed to talk about what you work on? So, what have you been working on? Membrane composition, that's the chemistry, biophysics, membrane tension, thickness, stiffness, affect protein dynamics. Ooh, okay. So, like, is this the kind of, I could be way off base, but is this kind of like going in the direction of, um, using proteins to uh, administer like things. We ask questions like, do particular proteins prefer areas of membranes that have a particular curvature? Gotcha. How do proteins affect the rigidity of a membrane? If you modulate those principles, you can affect protein activity. Nice. That's so cool, man. I love STEM. I'm an engineering student, and I love talking about STEM stuff on stream. Just, you get all kinds here, and you get to see, like, everybody come together with their own, like, field. Ugh, love. We don't really work with drug dealers, but I'm sure there are people who do. Totally. It's so, like, I'm starting to become more comfortable with the language of STEM, like, because whenever I'm doing my homework, I'll stream, and I will, um, like, read the papers that I'm having to read out loud so that I can understand them better, and it's been incredibly helpful to stream that process. Engineering is crazy. I don't think I am that smart, but it's definitely challenging. Well, you're smart too, Rocket Teats. Look at how career is pooling down here. That's crazy. Hey, denture tech is cool. So do you get to, like, sculpt the dentures? Biophysics. Read some papers that study chromosome stiffness. They base it on polymer physics and some mechanical things like lens modulus, some storage moduli. I don't know much about that, but I know this term's been fine home with an engineer. Yeah, definitely polymer physics. Um, I, that's so interesting. So I come from a background of theater, um, and I used to be a costume designer, and so as an engineer, I'm doing a lot of things with, like, textiles and things. So it's interesting that you mentioned polymer physics, um, because there's a lot of different textiles you can make. Like, yeah, it's. I've lost my train of thought, but it's very interesting. Place the teeth, sculpt the gums, then turn the wax into acrylic. That's so cool. If I could go back to undergrad, I would think I would go the mechanical engineering route or maybe physics. Eh. Mechanical engineering is really hard for, like, a not specialized degree. You want to be, like, specialized when you... Yeah, I guess so. But you want to have a specialization when you graduate because it makes you more hireable. But we do got that training. Yeah, how did you get into that rocket, Teets? That's so cool. Always good to have a connection. I just realized I'm done too long ago. Makes me sound smarter than I understand. Perception is a bit twisted. My friend who was in mechanical engineering now works on Mars rover stuff, and I'm just like, man, that would be cool. Mars rover stuff is cool. Yeah. Exactly. No imposter syndrome allowed. That is hella cool. I've been getting encouraged to put in for positions at NASA and stuff. I really struggle with the imposter syndrome as well, though. I'm like, I don't know if I have the grades for NASA or any of that, but maybe I can get like a sweet little DOJ contract. But I also don't want that contract because I don't want to blow people up. You know what I mean? That's one of the big struggles as an engineer. Like, are you responsible for making things that hurt people? Yeah. I think I will try, just to see what happens. Yeah, exactly. What's the worst that can happen? They say no, and then I move on. I'd rather get the no than never know, you know? What I'd really like to do, though, is design roller coasters for Disney. I think that would be so much fun. I'd be able to combine my theater background with my engineering background. Biophysics. Yeah, that would be super cool. And then there's also SpaceX, but I don't want to work for Elon Musk. You know? But I also kind of want to work on space stuff. Because space stuff is sick. Ooh, orange went out. Yeah. Just get the resume. Real. Do like a year stint and then quit. Right? Well, we'll see if it burns last. I think the next one to go is gonna be purple. Or maybe yellow. Right? It's so cozy. I love the rain sounds. It also makes me feel cooler. It's very hot where I am. Like right now it's 89 degrees and it's like listening to the rain makes me feel like okay, it's like a summer thunderstorm. I don't know what made you search for internships or whether kind of engineers, but for me it was really helpful. The chance to contribute to my position of new knowledge is awesome. Process very stressful. Feeling something like I could pass it over. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes peeled for some good internships. Because just doing because this last semester I had the imposter syndrome so bad, and then I did my presentation in my class and I was like, oh, we actually like, oh, blue went out. That one was purity, and it left a big old hole in the middle. um but we did a class doing SolidWorks, And it was a group project where we had to design something and we chose to do a bicycle. And I couldn't figure out how to put the chain on the bicycle, but everything else rotated and functioned correctly the way that a bicycle does. And I was doing the presentation and I was like, was so disappointed in myself that I couldn't get the chain to work. Meanwhile, like half of the class did something made out of Legos. And I was just like, we designed a whole bicycle that functions. Like, what the heck? I didn't realize we were overachieving. So, I'm starting to I'm starting to make a little name for myself on accident. That imposter syndrome is rough though. Especially as a woman in STEM. It's hard for me to just like step into spaces and like try to make friends without it being like, "Oh, you're going to be my girlfriend now." Like, no, that's not what's happening. I'm just trying to make friends. But I've been able to link up with a couple other women in STEM, a couple other female engineering majors, which has been really nice. Oh, I think purple's going out. Yeah. It's frustrating, but it's also kind of the name of the game, and I have to push through and learn how to get past that. It's one of those things where it's like, do I have imposter syndrome, or am I being expected to do twice as much work for the same amount of recognition as the guys? Which is, you know. Ooh, it's a race between yellow and purple. But money, peace, and love are burning real strong still. I'd really like to build a theme park in my hometown. Um, and like give it a cute little mascot and just make it like a big part of the town. Like incorporate it, the town's like history and stuff. Um, and make little rides for it and everything. I think that would be super cool. Ow. Yeah, I like to do that. I think engineering is art, and I think art is engineering. I think they're the same thing. Thank you. But yeah, I think, you know, coming from theater, so much of what we did in theater was engineering. We just weren't doing the math and we weren't doing the physics. But going into engineering, I'm getting the rest of the pieces of the puzzle and I'm just fleshing out stuff that, tools that I've already been using in theater and in the entertainment industry. It's been so cool to just in my classes have those revelations of like, oh, that's why we build a flat like that. Or that's why I have to hang my fabric like that when I'm building a costume. Um, it's been so cool. Um, and I recommend it for everybody. I, this last semester, excuse me, excuse me, this last semester I was teaching costume design to some high school students and as like a side job while going to school. And whenever they would ask me what to major in, if they should major in theater when they go to college, I would tell them, no, you will not make any money. Please major in something adjacent like engineering or business, um, something like that, something that's going to make you money. Um, because especially coming out of the town where I am, like, it's grueling to make your mark. If we were in like LA or Orlando or like Savannah, Georgia or New York, it would be much more accessible to become an actor or a designer or whatever. But I'm in a podunk town in the middle of California. Like that's not that's not really like feasible for those who want to stay here. And engineering is cool. You get to know the secrets of the universe. You gotta learn some big words, but you get to know the secrets of the universe. I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, I would love if all of my students um, came away with the talents and skills to work at or like build their own theme parks. I think that would be fantastic. I think the cool thing about being in STEM is that you get the rare opportunity to do jobs that have some inherent meaning. Exactly. Yeah, there usually is a why. It's not like retail where like you do the same thing over and over. That being said, I love my retail job right now. But like it would be so much more fun to have that creative element of like okay, we need to come up with a solution for a problem. That's my favorite thing. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And we should always be pursuing knowledge because why wouldn't we, you know? Interesting. Purple and yellow are still kicking. Oh, there goes yellow. I think so. Which is good. That means it's pulled through. Peace has persevered. Yeah, I guess so. I think it's, peace is a result of all of these things coming together. Oh, there goes purple. Yellow and purple were real smoky. Spirituality. That's what purple is. How long have I been doing this? Well, today, about 2 hours, but I know that's not what you're asking. I want to say 2 years? Maybe 3? I think it's fun. I think it helps me get in touch with my ability to communicate. As an engineer, I'm a little um, introverted, and this helps me kind of break ice within myself and gets me talking and communicating with the world. I left the church, and then I found tarot, um, and because I've always been curious about it, but I was always, in the church, it was always like, no, no, it's the devil. Um, and so when I looked into it, I realized that they were just Abrahamic flashcards. Like, there's a lot of Christian imagery in the tarot. Um, so it's not like it's no different than like a Joyce Meyer book or some other religious uh like faith book. Not it's not like a religious text like the Bible, but it's like a book written about using the Bible. You know what I mean? Um so I colored my own deck, which is this one right here. and I colored it by hand, and I studied each of the cards, and just started doing tarot readings for me and my friends. And then I was like, well, what if I start doing it on Twitch? And it blew up a little bit. Um, so I was like, well, now I do this. I do this now. Oh, I accidentally blew that one out. That was the money one. But we have love and peace, persevering, which we love to see. And it makes a lot of sense because we're using the Black Moon conjunction with Venus right now. So it makes a lot of sense that Venus would be involved. And we'd see a lot of love there. But yeah, I kind of just realized that spells are just prayers with props. Um, you can pray to whoever you want. Um, and it's the same thing as what I was brought up with, just without the hateful rhetoric. Because I grew up like Pentecostal. And, you know, I do enjoy my time hanging out with those. I respect the beliefs. Nice. Hey, that's okay. We just like having people around to share it with. It's so much more fun in community. Um, because community is really, when you think about salt in um, in spell work, salt is really important because it represents the community. It's the salt of the earth. It comes from a Bible verse referring to the salt of the earth, which is referring to people. Um, and the reason why I don't use salt while I'm streaming is because the stream is working as the salt is, by bringing community together and bringing us all together so that we can look and focus on, okay, so what are we praying for? What are we looking at? What are some goals that we can set together? And I think that's, the community aspect is just the coolest for me. That. Yeah. Feel the same too. It's always nice to hang out with people that are supportive. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's kind of fun, even. It's fun to do this on a public platform because for me, I kind of find it. I, I find it challenging and, like, rewarding when people challenge my belief system. because it makes me think about it. And it makes me think about, okay, so what about this gap in my thought process? What about that gap in my thought process? And I find that the more I stream and the more I talk with people who don't agree with me, um, the more I'm able to figure out, like, no, this is a core belief that I have, and that's not a core belief that I have. And then this works and that doesn't work. You know what I mean? It helps me separate the wheat from the chaff a little bit internally. Although I haven't had too many naysayers. Most people have been incredibly supportive. Um, I don't think I've had more than one person who was like, you need to meet Jesus. And I had to be like, I've already met him, and there's actually nothing wrong with this. Yeah, I think so. I think it's really fun to just like hang out with people. Oh, probably not. They probably see tarot and, shy away. I mean, I always come in expecting a wackadoodle, who's just gonna be like spamming the chat with Bible verses. In which case, like, I can handle that. I, I've read the Bible, and I know what the Bible teaches. So, like, go ahead, spew your Bible verses at me. Like, I don't feel threatened, and I don't feel intimidated by them. It's like the ghosts, right? Where it's like, I have my boundaries, and you know what? If they decide to cross those boundaries, then, like, they'll see the consequences of that boundary crossing. you know? Boundaries are the biggest, um, I would say, spell that um, I've put on myself. And I think it's been the most successful spell I've put on myself. Just to be able to say, I started with the tarot, I set a boundary with the cards that if cards fly out, it can only be one card at a time and it has to be face up in order for me to count it as part of the reading. Um, and then from there, I was able to draw other boundaries in my life. And now I'm a much healthier person than I was before I started doing tarot. And it all started with that ability to draw a line in the sand and, um, dictate, this is when something is going to start, this is when something is going to be meaningful, instead of just accepting all of it. And that's been really cool for me. What did I just click? Okay. What brings you to this side of the internet? What's attractive about this to you? And do you watch tarot readers on other apps? Because I'm always looking to diversify my platform. Exactly. Although I think love might go out before peace, which is kind of what we want to see. I'm putting my hand over my mouth so we can get a genuine read. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. It's like an art stream. I could definitely see that. Yeah, absolutely. That's my favorite too. Just hanging out and talking. Let me get my sparkling water. Sometimes things can be lonely sometimes. It's different when you're opening up to someone who doesn't really know who you are. That's so real. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole reason why I have the VTuber, right? Or the PNG tuber. I mean, despite it being really fun to make. It's real. There are some things that you can't say to your friends or family that you can recommend them. 100%. Do you remember that app back in, you know, 2016 called Yik Yak? And it was totally anonymous and you could just shout into the void. That was really cathartic. The, um, her? No, I didn't draw that. I took the painting, and I, um, cut it up into pieces so that I could manipulate them in an app. And then I, isolated each of the pieces and, what did I do? I isolated them and then I animated each of them individually so that she would blink and then open her mouth and the earring would swing and all that. I really like classical art, so. Oh no, that 2016 was fair enough. It was really popular when I was working at Disney. Um, I did the Disney College program back in 2015, and I remember one time I was on Yik Yak and I was like, "Is anybody in Chatham Square, or does anybody in Chatham Square have a cup of sugar that I can borrow? Because I'm trying to make cookies and I don't have any sugar." And this girl from across the complex was like, "Yeah, I have sugar. Come over here." Oh, I should hydrate. Oh, peace went out. Peace went out, but love is still going. Thank you for that. Almost there. Yeah, that was a good time. I guess so. You would think love would come first. But I suppose people have to stop fighting in order to listen to each other and talk to one another. Excuse me, goodness gracious. I enjoyed them as well. This was such a nice stream. Yeah. There goes love. They're all done. We did it! We cast a spell for world peace. Great big wax booger. Alright. Let's see. Just one at a time. The Knight of Swords, Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands. Interesting. So we have, let me put that up there. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse. This is being a little too immature with our words. We have the Page of Wands upright. This is what is this? Having a curiosity about spirituality and about a new political movement, or a new spirituality, having that childlike curiosity, that young curiosity. And then we have the Knight of Wands, who's very gung-ho about pursuing this spirituality. Interesting. We have the Five of Swords in reverse, modifying the Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands. The Five of Swords in reverse is, let me look back at my notes. Boop, boop, boop. Whee. I'm doing a follow-up to our spell to see what the results of the spell will be. So, Five of Swords in reverse, denial, reluctance to face conflict and change. It's a little bit, we've got some turbulence here, and a lack of wanting to change. Okay. The Seven of Swords, modifying the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Seven of Swords being too many options, lack of focus and tunnel vision, communicatively. So focusing on one thing. These are both swords. They're both communicating pretty, got a pretty focused thing that they're communicating on. And then the Six of Wands in reverse. This is very similar to a reading earlier, actually. Is this for that participant? I'll never tell, says the board. A lack of healing. How do we get healing? Thank you. Nine of Wands. The Lovers. And the Five of Cups. Interesting. So we'll see a lot of words and a lot of politics as a result of this spell. And we'll see some political actions being taken. Our the Lovers. That might be a crossroads. Let me double check that one. considering your own beliefs and values and questioning received opinion. That's what that is. And then the Five of Cups is emotional instability. The Queen of Wands being the ultimate outcome. Interesting. I know, the board's so cheeky. Anyways, it looks like we've got some communications about spiritual or political things coming up. Hard conversations. People don't want to heal. They don't want to come together. But we will see people coming together spiritually. We'll see people considering their own beliefs and values and questioning received opinion. And we'll see a little bit of emotional instability. But ultimately, we have the Queen of Wands modifying all three of those. The Queen of Wands is a mother figure that helps with spirituality and politics. She's very she is manifesting world peace and manifesting what we were manifesting with the candles. Alright. Good. Oh. Well, that was fun. Excuse me. I'm starting to feel tired because I've been going for a little bit. I think I'm going to call the stream here, but I love and appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll probably be back tomorrow. I was thinking of doing a little gaming stream and also doing tarot readings tomorrow. So pop in to either one. And remember, since you guys are subscribers, you guys can interrupt any stream for a free tarot reading. So if I'm playing a game, you can hop on and just be like, I would like a tarot reading. And I will stop what I'm doing and give you a tarot reading right then. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna... Excuse me. I'm gonna go and figure out why I keep dropping frames like crazy. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.